Welcome back, guys. Today I thought I'd talk about what exercise routines you can do to lose weight. This is a topic which I have written in an essay, which you can find in the description below, or you can go on www.dantesynesia.com. So how can you lose weight, and what specific routines can you do to lose the weight? Firstly, let's just say that there are no routines that help you lose weight specifically, but let's go into why, So first, let's discuss how weight loss occurs. So weight loss actually occurs through creating something called an energy deficit. So basically, you consume a certain amount of food in a day and you expend an amount of energy in the day, and that creates sort of a scale. So you need to consume less than the amount of energy you expend to create a energy deficit, also known as a caloric deficit, which helps to actually utilize the excess energy you have in your body in the form of fat. The opposite is also true. So if you want to gain weight, you need to consume more energy and burn less energy. So you'll start storing that in the form of fat. Or if you want to maintain, same thing, your energy consumed and energy that you've burnt needs to be even. So this is a scale which I'll put up on the screen here. In terms of weight loss is largely a nutritional intervention, so to speak, and it is so for a particular reason. It's because it's sort of the easiest thing you can manipulate to create that energy deficit. So when talking about energy deficit, we have to see, where does our energy expenditure actually come from first. So when we burn energy in a day, it comes from four main things. So we're going to have something called our basal metabolic rate, which is the amount of energy we require in a day to survive. The amount of food we need to eat to, pump our heart, get our organs moving, move our, to move our organs, just to stay awake, stay alive, essentially, even if we just sat in a bed completely all day. So then you've got something called non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is called NEAT. It's the idea of the amount of energy you expend just involuntarily doing fidgeting or moving, or even getting up to go to the fridge and those sorts of things, just daily activities you need to do to sort of survive as well. So it's the bare minimum above just sitting on a couch all day and existing. And then you've got something called exercise activity thermogenesis, which is called EAT. It's the idea of how much energy you expend doing voluntary physical activity. And then there's one more factor called the thermic effect of food, which is called TEF, T-E-F, which is basically the amount of energy required to digest food, but let's not really worry about that. So the amounts that these contribute to our total daily energy expenditure, called TDEE, so the amount of energy you expend in a day, is large, mostly from BMR. So BMR uses about 70% of the amount of energy you burn in a day. Your NEAT is about 15%, and your EAT is about 5%. So just a reminder, NEAT is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, so walking, fidgeting, going to the fridge, anything like that. EAT being voluntary physical activity, running, gym, voluntary walking other than what's required to go to work or whatever. And then thermic effect of food is about 10%. So even if you just look at that, a total of 20% from NEAT and EAT of our day, of our energy expenditure comes from those two things, whereas 70% comes from BMR. So it's a lot easier just to change the amount of food we're consuming, reducing, let me strip that back. So it's a lot easier just to reduce the amount of food we eat than vastly increasing the amount of exercise we do. Because as you can see, the percentage of importance is actually a lot lower, about 5% for voluntary physical activity compared to 70% of BMR. So how would this look in a day in terms of nutrition? Some general principles I tell my clients is, you'd want to just minimize the amount, the general principles which I tell my clients, if they were to change things on the get-go, these are not very specific, but things you could do straight away which would help you out, is trying to remove as many processed foods as you can, because processed foods tend to be highly calorically dense and tend to not be that satiating. I would try to reduce the intake of sugary foods, because once again, same thing, high caloric density, very low satiety. I would reduce, caloric drinks, so, soft drinks, Powerades, Gatorades, unless required for training. Trying to minimize the hectic coffees people probably get at Starbucks, wherever you go. And I would try to consume more protein at a meal and try to consume more fiber, so vegetables, legumes at a meal. So that would actually increase the amount of satiety per meal and make you feel fuller. Now, in terms of routines that would help you actually lose weight, let's actually shift this idea of using exercise as a means to burn calories rather than using exercise as a means to display or develop your physical prowess, whether that's size, strength, cardiovascularly, whether that's a skill. When you start looking at exercise as a means to burn calories, it starts to become a very sad endeavor. Whereas if you start using it as a means to develop yourself and something that you want to do and that you feel like you're getting a benefit out of, other than just ticking off numbers or burning off that piece of cake that you ate, you're a lot more excited and motivated to go in and actually do the training. Because as I said before, you can't out-train a bad diet. So if you're just trying to burn extra calories, the amount of work you'd have to do as well is going to be ridiculously high compared to if you just reduced what you ate and did a form of training that you enjoyed. The most important thing in terms of beginning a exercise regime, which I've spoken about before, is going to be actually just choosing something that you enjoy. There's going to be a lot of people that tell you to do, a fighting sport, or to do the gym, or to go to a group fitness class, or to whatever, bodyweight workouts, calisthenics. There's going to be a million different people telling you to do a million different things, but you really realistically just have to choose something that you actually want to do. Let's say you have a keen interest in whatever, just go about starting doing that thing. Choose or commit to a certain amount of days of actually engaging in that, and then just make sure you actually, whether you feel like it or not, show up and do that thing for the week. And that's going to be where the actual character development comes from of doing the exercise, and where the actual benefit of doing the exercise comes from, because it's creating a lifestyle, not doing it necessarily just as a means to an end. So to summarize, weight loss does not occur best through doing a specific regime. It actually occurs best through nutritional intervention, which can be achieved through creating a caloric deficit, which can be created from reducing the overall food intake you have through some of the methods I mentioned before. And if you're going to start exercising, the best routine or regime is going to be one that you stick to and one that you enjoy, because you will stick to it for the lifespan, or for however long, for the lifespan really, and that's going to benefit you the most. So ladies and gents, I hope that helped. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. It goes a long way for the channel. Other than that, have a good day. Peace.